gonna try and start the old forgotten Oldsmobile here today. Sitting at the in-laws, cold, blustery, downright miserable. Absolutely miserable. Well, I finally got over here. There's quite a bit of crust there. The highway is actually quite treacherous. I'm trying to navigate through all that miserable stuff. Come on. I need a new filing system for this. Alright, so I'm not sure how this is going to pan out for me. This battery was totally dead last time I was here. So with the frigid temperatures that we've had the last couple of nights, it's more than likely froze. I'm not sure of that yet though. I'm going to try it with the booster pack and hope for the best. Well, it looked like the battery might have froze. There's frost pretty well all over everything. I'm going to try it. We have signs of life. A little dim. Booster pack might be dead. I think I'll prime that again. That sounded tight. Give it a minute. I'm not sure why the rod fan decided to kick in. I mean, it's kind of draining the battery or my booster pack. It's cranking over pretty slow. I might not have a hope in heck to get this thing running today. I think I might be screwed. That battery is just too weak. This here, I think I'm going to really regret parking them in this way. Mainly because the snow already in here from the wind is already blowing snow into the engine bay. Mind you, there doesn't seem to be much here in this engine bay. Actually, I don't think there's any at all. But I guess really the only vehicle here is the Dakota that would really have the largest problem with snow blowing in there. I'm not sure. The wind is so strong here sometimes. And the power has been out here for the last, I don't know, 18 hours supposedly. We got a big snowstorm there the other day, Saturday night I guess. It started off as rain, but then it proceeded to turn into snow. Very heavy flurries. And it was really windy here. Anyway, I'll give it one more shot, but it looks like I might be SOL. Maybe I'll get in and close the door, try and save the battery. Hell with it. Let's try it. See, it's firing. It fired there. And of course, that fan is draining the battery. I don't know why the fan is trying to run. It's not supposed to. But this battery is probably froze. Well, I don't have any booster cables, so I'm going to try it once more. And if it doesn't go, it doesn't go. Try it again another day. I'll bring an actual real battery rather than a battery that's I know is screwed. It did fire. The only trouble is you keep trying it the likelihood of flooding it will take place, so it's still stuck up there. Well, that sucked. I'm gonna try it again on Friday, I guess. Bring a good battery with me. That's all I can do. I guess the battery that was in it froze. It is what it is. It's an old battery. I left it in the car. I didn't even bother taking it out. There's no sense. There really is no point. Try it again another day. Okay, so had a bit of a mild spell yesterday and the previous day. Today is Christmas Eve. Look at this, a nice clean path for me to walk down. All the way out to the vehicles. The snow melted off them too, which is good. Yeah, there's still a little bit on the Dakota, but I'm going to take the battery out of that. We're not going to play with that one. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to start up the 88 Oldsmobile, the Cutlass Sierra. I'm going to run it for about an hour. We got a church service that I have to attend to with my wife. If you're married, well, you know how it is. If you're not married, well then lucky you. You guys are probably all drinking beer right now, which is probably what I should be doing. So I'm going to put this down, I'm going to set it there. I'm going to also take the tarp off of this, and I'm going to run it, if this battery will hold charge. I didn't bring a battery with me, so I'm hoping that yesterday's mild spell would have unthawed the battery. The booster pack is freshly charged, so I know the booster pack will start the car. But I'm hoping that it'll take enough of a charge so I can throw it in this car, and hopefully it'll start that one as well. But like I say, I don't know for a fact. There's no power in it at all, which sucks. Probably froze for sure. Well, that's the wrong key, I guess. So I'm gonna try it with the booster pack. And I have high hopes. Last time I tried to start it, it was 20 below out, and we had a recent spell of cold snaps during those few 4 nights, at least 4 or 5 nights of extreme cold. And you know, this battery, you know, would have been dead. I knew it was dead. I just never had the chance to take it out of the car. My father-in-law says, well, the battery's done. I mean, I wouldn't even bother, and then I was kind of, you know, sitting on the fence about not even bothering taking it out of the car, so I was kind of listening to him at the same time. This battery was in sister-in-law's Pontiac at one point, and I mean, she hasn't had the Pontiac in years, so, you know, automatically she, drains her right down. Well, we'll see anyway. Probably would have been a good idea if I did bring a battery with me. You have power. I'm gonna close the door this time. Last time I tried it, the rad fan kept trying to kick in. It started, but it did not want to go. I'm gonna take the booster pack off. I'm going to assume that the battery might be froze. Oh, the alternator's keeping it running though. Usually if the lights are... Well, no, look at that. It might be taking a charge. Set this down here for now. Grab the air thing. thing hasn't moved since the wedding, so this has been sitting for over a year and a half, and it has the fuel that I purchased about a day or two before the wedding. So I mean, I kind of want to burn some of that out of there. It does kind of have a miss, unless the alternator's not charging. And the lights are kind of flickering. I think the alternator's doing most of the job, because as soon as I apply the brakes, the lights go pretty dim. So anyway, yeah, there's less than a quarter of a tank. See if the transmission kind of does. Oh, see, it's always been right there. That's something that I didn't really care for. There's something wrong with that pressure solenoid. It's full line pressure, and you can hear it. It's just, doesn't sound very healthy. Power windows, all that jazz. I believe all of them work too. Oh, except the rear right one doesn't work. I didn't know that. Car does stink. Exhaust is quite putrid. I think that fuel might have gotten stale already. I'm going to leave this window down actually a little. I'm always afraid of the power windows going funky on it and maybe locking myself out, so I'm going to leave it down just a bit while I'm running it. I smell a spot under here too, like leaking or burning oil or something. It seems to be running all right. Headlights on. Let's see if that alternator will charge that battery up a bit. Yeah. Over this side. Let's see. This car originally was like a chocolate brown. I painted this in, I believe, 2016. If memory serves me right, a buddy and I painted it at the body shop. But it's dirty. It's been dirty for a couple of years. I haven't had a chance to paint it. Underneath here is the 78. I don't know what happened to that one. Oh yeah, I guess I had to make a tear in it for the other car for the antenna. Yeah, 78 is parked in its little slumber here. I'm not going to start this one today. Actually, I don't think I seafoamed this one either, but it's got fresh fuel in it, so I'm just going to leave it. It'll be alright for the winter. So this one's running good. I might shut the lights off, give the battery a chance to charge up, because I kind of need it. Let's see what's in the trunk. I don't remember what's in there. A whole lot of nothing. A jack, microfiber cloth, and I think there's a pair of booster cables in there. The old antenna. The antenna I couldn't get mounted back in there because the stud broke off. The stud's not in there though, but I need to figure out something what I'm going to do with that now. I don't think this is even the original antenna, to be all honest with you. Maybe it is. So that was supposed to go there. Something like that. I'll have to jimmy rig something with that sometime. Exhaust fans are a little noxious. Okay. Yeah, so 1988 Olds Cutlass Sierra. Great shape. Not really see many of these around anymore. Looks like I left the Haida key back there. Didn't even know that. She's been sitting a while, but it's clean. Fuel pump doesn't sound very healthy anymore. Kind of sounds like it's whining a lot. I don't remember this being. I'll just tuck that back in there. But yeah, I mean, it's been a good old car. It's quite fast too. I miss driving this thing. I need to put the thing back on. Actually, I don't know if I even have one of those. One fell off the station wagon too, and I just glued it back on. There's a clip for those. Might be in the glove compartment. And your typical four-door Econo box. There's really nothing fancy about them. I mean, they were a mass production vehicle from 82 till, I don't know, 96 or something like that. So I mean, I'm sure there's still plenty of them around. Not so many anymore in Ontario, but I mean, I'm sure there's plenty around in the States somewhere in the not so much salty Rust Belt areas, but I don't have. Anyway, yeah. I miss driving this. Even that still works. And the mirror's nice and clean. This one here doesn't have one on this side. Reading lamps. They're on right now because the door is open, but I mean, if we close the door, just simply flip this switch. You know, they were all burnt out when I got it, so I put new bulbs in there. Nothing fancy. They're just regular halogens. I didn't put LEDs or nothing in there. Yeah, so this thing hasn't been literally running in, well, I tried to start it last week before school ended, and I was unsuccessful with that. I think I started it around Thanksgiving the last time, so it's been sitting a couple of months. I'm not going to hammer too much. I'm just going to let it idle and see if that battery will charge up a bit. I might go get some air in the air pig and put some air in that tire, although that is completely redundant. Alright, so this one's purring a lot nicer. Nice low idle right now. Window's starting to steam up a little bit. The oil light has always been doing that. Plenty of oil pressure. Oh, just stalled it. Oh, and this battery's totally done. Well, I guess there's probably not a hope that it's going to start this, but I guess I could try it. I can smell steel fuel quite severe. Anyway, not sure why it stalled. Of course, the booster pack is dead. I guess the rad fan's trying to run. I need a battery. Need a new battery. I'm gonna give it a minute here. See if it can catch up, charge that battery up a little bit. Okay, so the only thing that I can think of is why it stalled. Once I revved it up, I let the accelerator off abruptly. I believe the rad fan was running. It created quite a bit of drag on the alternator, and it might have just stalled out. The alternator's really working overtime here because this battery's just not doing anything. So, it doesn't appear to be froze, although it probably did freeze last week. So, there's probably not a hope in hell that that battery is going to do any good for this. So I'm just going to close the hood on that. And what I'll do is I got to come up tomorrow, being Christmas Day, And maybe I'll bring a battery up. I really want to get this one running more than anything. This one here I don't really care too much about because it's been running since, well, I've had it running at Thanksgiving, whereas this one here has been sitting a lot longer than that. It's been sitting since the spring. Okay, so this booster pack might not be holding charge anymore either. It's, you know, I've had it for a while. I boosted a lot of vehicles with it also, so I'm going to give it a little bit of assistance. I'm going to give it quarter throttle, so if it does fire, it'll just take off rather than stall out. No, even with it being, let's see, the fan is running. Alright, so I drained the battery and the booster pack trying to start a warm engine. So it just goes to show you that that battery is absolutely no good. NFG is what we call that here. NFG. I'll let you guys figure out what that abbreviation means. So, I'm screwed. I got nothing I can do here. I'm going to go out and just, I don't know, with it being Christmas Eve maybe. I don't know how long stores are open till, but I think I might go out and buy a new battery. I'm almost tempted to and just consider it as a Christmas gift to myself is what I'll do. And I'll throw it in this one. I got batteries at the shop I took out of other vehicles that'll start these, but I'm just getting sick and tired of having these old batteries around. So that one I knew was bad. I managed to get a year out of it, even though that my father-in-law told me that was bad from the get-go. So I managed to get a year out of it. It started holding the charge, and then, you know, if it sat for a week, it really cranked the engine over slow, but it would still start. And then I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just hold on to the battery for a little while. I don't know what's with this. I hope the heater core didn't leak again. Doesn't smell like it's leaking though. Just foggy in here. Doesn't smell nothing though, so I'm just gonna assume it isn't. Which it sucks because I really wanted to keep this thing running, but the alternator I could tell was doing a lot of the work. I could hear it whining and the lights were flickering, so it's usually a sign that the battery's not taking charge. So as soon as the engine quit, I mean, it was done. The booster pack doesn't seem to want to help out either, so it is what it is. Okay, so I made a mad dash into town there. Ran out and got a brand new battery. I lied to the wife. I told her I was going to get some last minute Christmas gifts for her. So, Merry Christmas, sweetie. Got yourself a brand new car battery. That's just the kind of man I am. Anyway, do you think she'll like it? I mean, I could take the caps off the top posts and just say that, well, I could turn them into a necklace maybe. That's not a bad idea. Alright, I'm going to shove this into the Buick quick. I have to leave momentarily, so I'm just going to shove this in here and I'm going to see if it'll start in real time here, and then I got to go. Story of my life. Anyway, just a cheap Canadian Tire battery. It's good enough. It'll do for what I need it for. So without the top post was $105, and I looked at the guy and it's like, well, do you got one with top posts and side posts both? I mean, like, I kind of want them all. Kind of makes it easier for boosting. He said, yeah, I know, I've had one of those cars before, and I mean, they're a pain to try and boost because they're in such a crappy spot. So he did have one for me, thankfully. Normally with these Canadian Tire batteries, well, or any battery, they usually only have enough charge to get the car going. So I'm hoping that, seeing as how this one's been sitting for quite some time, that it will start. As soon as I find the right damn key for it. Anyway. Alright. Let's hope for the best here. She's definitely cold. Doesn't sound healthy, whatever that is. Well, that wasn't too bad. Now I just gotta listen to those stupid belts for a minute. son of a bitch. There. I gotta uncover this damn car again. The top of it's in there. Boxing Day, I guess I'll have to get some fuel stabilizer in these. I think this one here has quite a bit of fuel in it. Here, I'll cover this. Totally forgot about it. There, look at there. I'll burn my cover down. I mean, geez. Ticking that you hear right now, that apparently that's a really bad exhaust leak at the manifold. You can still hear it. It will go away as the engine warms up. It, you know, metal expands, right, and it kind of seals the hole, I guess. But when the engine's cold, you'll hear that horrible ticking. Yeah, well, at least I got this one running. I mean, there is quite a substantial amount of fuel in it, half a tank. Like, that fuel is heading on, you know, a year and a half old. I mean, I should really do something with that. I don't want a whole bunch of stagnant fuel sitting in it, even though it is really good for the car to have at least above half a tank to keep the condensation out of the tank. That's really especially important with diesel vehicles. Now, I don't have a full tank of stabilized fuel for the old girl. So what I'll probably more than likely do is try and run this low, and it'd be good. It would have been a good idea to get some high test in it. I really didn't. I didn't want to have the car sit this long, but things happen. As long as the old stuff gets out of there, it's all right. The old girl's running pretty good. That horrible exhaust leak, that sounds mighty awful, but I mean, there's only so much I can do in a year's time. Maybe in the spring of 2020 I will actually get that addressed, because that sounds horrible. And I need tires for it too. But, I mean, I just spent $130 for a battery here today. I mean, the battery will last a mighty long time for sure. Mainly because the car doesn't go anywhere. I might actually take the battery back to the shop, and I'll use that battery in the plow truck. Bought a brand new battery, but the battery in the plow truck's not on the starter side, it's on the, well, the auxiliary side is what I like to call it. And well, I really could use the battery, a new battery on the starter side. And this thing here, it stalled on me, so that's why the old battery went dead. I'm just going to leave this one for today. I might start this one I might start it tomorrow after Christmas dinner if the turkey doesn't knock me out first. I'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's pretty well it for this. The 83 Buick is a runner. With all its clattery noises and all. Works. This door was always a pain to open. Oh, there we go. Look at the cobwebs. And the car is nice and clean. Look at how clean this is. Like I say, it breaks my heart to have this thing sit, but you know, keeping all these vehicles out of the salt is what is preserving them. And it is somewhat protected by this Well, I guess you'd use these type of buildings for storing hay. And of course, there's really not much, and there's not really any farming that takes place here anymore, so these buildings are really good for storage. I mean, there's a gravel pad here, you know, a dirt pad. So, I'm not too worried about the vehicles rusting out here. There's so much airflow here. The wind is just astonishing. You know, so there's lots of airflow. You know, it's actually quite breezy here now. But with that open field, you get very, very cold wind. And in the summertime, it's actually a very nice breeze. But anyhow, you know, it's dusty. Hasn't moved in quite some time. Upper lamps work. On this side, anyway, I think the other side did quit. So, unfortunate, but what do you do? Got all this Victoria Day weekend car shows and bric-a-brac that I attended. I haven't attended a car show since Dad died. Here we have even a t-shirt. I was given a t-shirt, a couple of t-shirts I think here, or is there just the one? No, there's two. You know? I always got the white t-shirts because, well, I got quite dark in the summertime, so white t-shirts look good on me. Anyway, so, yeah, haven't been to a car show with the old girl in 2 years now. And I think it's mainly because of my father passed away and I kind of lost interest, but also the condition of this vehicle doesn't help. The bumper fillers falling apart here. I mean, our local show and shine really doesn't have a lot of beautiful cars. There is a lot of beautiful cars there, but I've kicked this down a bit. There's a lot of beautiful cars, but there's a lot of cars that show up there that have been around the bush a few times. You know, they've been high mileagers, but they've been repainted and they look good and they're old and, you know, they're what I like to call unappreciated survivors. Which is kind of what this is. You know, back in 1983, this was just a daily car for a lot of people that would buy one of these. So, but in today's auto market, this thing would be just a weekend cruiser to some, or a derby car to others. Unfortunate. It really depends on who gets their hands on it. Some people's eyes, they just see this as a daily car that they run into the ground, I'm sure, along with this. And I'm sure if you were to ask somebody in the 90s, I'm sure any teenager that got his hands on his mother's car would definitely be to the mat with this all the time, and the police would be in the rearview mirror. The only time they'd be on the brakes is when the cops are behind them. So, but hey man, I got this one finally running. I'll probably shut it off now. I'll put the cover back on. I'm gonna have to get going. And then tomorrow, I guess maybe I'll try and boost the Dakota. I gotta start my booster pack. I gotta recharge my booster pack, so maybe I'll do that tonight. And maybe I'll give the Sierra a bit of a run too. Might get some seafoam tomorrow if there's anything open around here. Yeah, see, this one totally quit. I hope maybe a bad connection, but usually when they go, they just go out. It looks like that's what happened here. Just burnt out. Alright. Well, I'm going to leave that battery in because that battery is brand new and charged, so I don't need to worry about that one freezing. Which is good. Yeah. It's not a very good battery. I mean, it's just Canadian Tire. Anybody who's from up in Canada knows what Canadian Tire products are worth. I mean, they're cheap, but you do get a few years out of their products. If their batteries aren't bad. I mean, there's only 3 companies that make car batteries. So usually you get a car battery, you know, it's a top name company that would have made it. It's just they stuck their label on it, more or less. Well, that's what I was told by an auto parts guy anyway. So usually buy a battery, you only get so much time out of them before they are done. if you got 3 years in this day and age out of a car battery, you've done pretty well. So, used to be able to get 5 or 6. I had a car battery one time that gave me 5 years of dependable service out of it. Is that muffler hot?